I got, yeah, number of teams. What looks I don't
Unit conversion tables, I have those right here. I'm going to put the stack. Actually, I'm going to put the stack on the overhead in case you still need unit conversions. Okay. So we're dealing with mass. Grams, milligrams, kilograms, milligrams, kilograms. Those are volume measurements. Those are weights. So in the table, units of length, that's not this. Units of area, well, this is still distance, but units of area are square units. Units of volume are cubic units, powers of 3. Units of capacity. So here's the milliliters and liter conversion. We'll come back to that. Units of mass. So now we're looking at right here, the giveaway, milligrams, kilograms, and grams. So that's our conversion rate. Those are our values. Go there. Converting metric is as easy as multiplying by powers of 10. Multiply by 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million, whatever. Divided by 10, divided by 100, divided by 1,000. It just depends upon where are you, where do you want to be. Now, here's the problem. You can only do that if you're right next door to the next value. I can only go from one unit to the next unit if I know that conversion. If you want to leap over and go from, like in this problem, kilograms to, well, that's actually one number. That's one jump. Grams to milligrams, that's one jump. Milligrams to grams, that's one jump. Grams to kilograms, that's one jump. Where did you get that problem that you gave me?
I have no idea.
I don't know where you wrote it down from because that was not up here. You had milligrams and kilograms.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, she was showing me milligrams and kilograms.
I really want.
I'm looking at it going, I know I'm not asking for a 2-jump problem. I'm asking for no more than a 1-jump problem. So I'm going, where the heck did she get this one?
I put milligrams instead of grams.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. But that's where I'm going with panic here. You were panicked, I was panicked. So that takes 2 jumps. Just for a quick second, if you're going to go from milligrams to kilograms, that's not a straight shot from milligrams to kilograms. There is no direct 1 milligram is 1,000 grams. There is no kilogram over here. It doesn't tell you what to multiply by or to divide by to change and convert. So when they ask that question, I don't know. So what do? I know how to change grams and kilograms because they have a relationship with an equal sign. I can convert kilograms and grams. They have an equal sign. There's something that connects them. And I also have a relationship between milligrams and grams. There's an equal sign. So I can convert milligrams into grams and then convert those grams into the kilogram. It's like one messed up custody battle. But somehow we got to get milligrams into the kilogram car. But that's not even going to be a problem today. We're taking it one step over. We'll worry about that question another day. So, couple of things. If you're gonna want decent grades, I have to be able to grade your papers efficiently. If you want to get grades, I have to be able to read your writing. So I'm pleading for your own good. Help me grade your problems correctly. You need some nice handwriting. Are you going to ask me about handwriting?
I was going to ask if you would conform.
How about handwriting right now? Because I'm in the middle of doing my handwriting spiel. So, if I can't read what you wrote, if I can't read your name, I'm going through these things because I go through these things every semester with all classes, not just in what particular class. I want you to do well, but if I cannot read what that number is, I'm not going to guess. Okay, it's going to get marked wrong. When it says round to 2 decimal places, you need to know what's in the 3rd decimal place to make that decision, whether it's going to round up or round down. Okay. If you get it wrong and you don't show any work, then it's just wrong. But if you get it wrong and you have work to support your answer, then you get partial credit. So when you get your test back, you'll see how it all works. But you're being told ahead of time, this is what you need to do. You have questions during the quiz or test, come on up. There's no restriction on asking questions during a test. So you shouldn't have to. Yes, go ahead.
So if you have a work, do you have to label in the work?
In the work, no. But what the units are?
Yeah.
You don't have to label in the work what the units are. However, it might help you to make sure you know what you are doing.
Okay.
I will do it up here because it's going to help you guys understand it. Okay, here we go. So 100 grams in a milligram. The connection, grams to milligram. 1 milligram equals 1,000 grams. That's not what you're going to use. Lower your voice. Okay. That's not what you're going to use. We have 1,200 grams and we want to convert it into milligrams. This is how you convert milligrams into grams. I take this back. I jumped the gun. I apologize. So if I want to convert this into milligrams, that means I want to get rid of, here's the deal. On the other side of this line, we want milligrams. Over here, 1 milligram, 1 over 1,000 grams. So that means you would divide by grams, because the grams are in the denominator. If we flip it, it would be 1,000 milligrams equals 1 gram. Because you multiply by 1,000. 1,000 milligrams equals 1 gram. So it's either 1 milligram is 1,000th of a gram, or 1,000 milligrams is equal to 1 gram. So the question is, I don't want grams anymore. I want milligrams only. So am I going to multiply by grams or divide by grams? Do I want to multiply or divide by the G? Divide by the G. So the G will cancel. And there's a 1,000 milligrams for every 1 gram. That's how you write it. You want the grams to reduce. So you divide by the gram unit value. You want milligrams left over. Who's supposed to be left in this relationship? So we need to bury the G and left with milligrams only. Then you have 1,200 times 1,000. So 1,200 times 1,000. Every time you multiply by a power of 10, you're going to move the decimal 3 times and you're going to make the number bigger. 3 zeros means you're multiplying by 0 3 times. So here's the decimal now. We're going to move it 1, 2, 3 times. And you're going to add 3 zeros. You now have 1, 2, 0, 0, and then 3 more zeros. I want you to put commas, because that's 1,200,000 milligrams. But actually, it should be, there's so much crap on the board. Say, wait, the important stuff. On your quiz, it's actually going to look like this. Convert this 1,200 grams, convert it into a milligram. Yeah, the test is actually going to have on the quiz at the bottom of the box will say 1,200 grams equals blank, and then you're going to have that in milligrams. So that's a reminder. I don't want grams over here. I want milligrams over. So we know we're going to have to undo grams. We don't want the gram unit. So you're starting with 1,200 grams. You know you're going to multiply or divide because the unit connection between here and here is the number 1,000. So you're going to multiply by 1,000 or divide by 1,000. So Since we want to undo the gram and left with the milligrams, we're going to need grams at the bottom. So it reduces. No more grams. The connection between grams and milligrams. Okay. There's 1,000 milligrams for every 1 gram. The word milli means 1,000 of a gram. So there's 1,000 of them in a gram. One tiny one is 1,000th of one. So how many can you fit? 1,000 of those little ones into a single gram. When you multiply those together, no more grams, add the 3 zeros, comma, that's how many milligrams. You write your answer down here. Any questions? We do this one. Starting with kilograms. And we want grams. The connection kilo and grams, the number, the word kilo indicates 1,000. But a kilogram is bigger than a gram. A kilogram is 1,000 grams. So a milligram is smaller. There's 1,000 of them in a single gram. And then the gram, there's 1,000 of those makes a kilogram. It's like when you have ounces. 16 small, tiny little ounces make 1 pound. And then 2,000 of those pounds make a ton. And those are how you go from small units into big units. I don't want kilograms. We want grams. So 46 of those kilograms. I don't want the kilograms, so I want to divide by the kilogram unit. I want grams in the numerator. I want to end up with grams. So the conversion. Is there 1,000 grams in a kilogram, or is it 1,000 kilograms, 1 gram?
1,000 grams.
There's 1,000 of these single grams, 1,000 here, and 1 kilogram. The purpose was to get the kilograms to reduce, and 46 times 1,000 grams. All you're going to do is move the decimal 3 times to the right. 46 times, you need 1, 2, 3, add those 3 zeros, and you get 46,000 grams. If you're going from a smaller number into a bigger number, the number should get bigger. A smaller unit of measure to a bigger unit, you should have a greater amount. But if you go from a bigger unit of measure to a smaller unit, it should be smaller.
Well, you said that backwards.
I did say it backwards. That's my old math. Let's just do the problem. Unit and ounce. Let's do this one. Milligrams are smaller than grams. 25 milligrams. And we're going to convert it into grams. Connection is still 1,000. 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram. When my son was little, there was a commercial on for some, I don't know what the product was. But the tagline of the product completely was 1 gram of fat. So he goes to his grandparents' house and he would say, 1 gram fat. She did not appreciate it. So I want to get rid of the milligrams. So we're either multiplying or dividing by 100. I want to get rid of the milligrams, so I need to divide by the milligram. So it reduces. So I want grams on the top that time. Again, dimensional analysis. I have to write it out every single time. I might be able to fumble through and get the right answer, but I want to see the units reduce. It's a visual thing for me. So am I going to put the 1,000 grams into 1 milligram, or is it 1,000 milligrams down here into 1 gram? 1,000 milligrams. 1,000 milligrams, 0, into 1 gram. So that means you're dividing, because now the milligrams will reduce, and you have 25 grams divided by 1,000 milligrams, or milligrams of chemical. So divided by 1,000, you can punch it up, but if you punch it up, you're going to get this. And you divide by 1,000, here's your decimal. And you're going to move the decimal to the left for every 0. 1, 2, 3 times. You're going to move it 1, 2, 3 times for every 0. So now you have 0.025 grams. If you don't round it to 2 decimal places, I'm not going to worry about it because I know you're going to put the 5 there. Technically, it would be 0.3 if you do round it, but that's fine. But I know you're going to be a little nervous in this one, so if you did 0.025, that's fine too. And if you don't put this 0, that's okay, but just make sure your decimal is loud and proud right there. So I know you know it's a decimal. – 800 grams. We're going to kilogram land. 1 gram is 1,000th of a kilogram. 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. I don't like starting with the fraction notation. Instead of saying that 1 gram is 1,000th of a kilogram, I don't like that one. I'd rather go with 1,000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram. They're the same thing, but I'm going to use dimensional analysis every time. What do I want to get rid of? What do I have? What do I want? So I'm starting with grams. I want kilograms. Am I going to multiply or divide by grams? But grams up here, grams down. Okay, we're going to divide by grams. So they reduce. That means kilograms go on the top. The conversion, is it 1,000 kilograms on top or 1,000 grams on the bottom? 1,000 grams on the bottom in the denominator. So 1 kilogram. So the grams reduce 800 times 1 kilograms divided by 1,000. All you're going to do is move the decimal 3 times to the left. So 800 moves the decimal when you divide by 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 is divided by 1,000. So 0.8. Technically, the 2 decimal places would be 0.80 kilograms. The 2 decimal places. But again, I know most of you might just go 0.8. Why do I need to put that extra zero? Because the direction set round to 2 decimal places. On this trial run, first quiz ever, I would be all right with it. It didn't. I want you to do well, but I want you to also learn there are directions that you need to follow. Okay. 2,480 milliliters is equal to how many liters? So the nice thing is on the conversion chart, that's all you have. Milliliter and liter conversion. Milliliters into liters, right here. Milliliters into liters, and then down here, liters and milliliters. And the connection is 1,000. There's 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. So we want liters, so we need to divide by what? Louder? Gotta divide by the milliliter. So if I'm dividing by the milliliter down here, is the 1,000 gonna be down in the denominator or up in the numerator?
Denominator.
Because that's how many, or the 1,000 goes with the milliliter. They stick together, part of it. So it's gonna be the milliliters reducing, 2,480 times 1 liter, times 1 liter divided by 1,000, which means you take that 2,480 and you move the decimal 3 times to the left and get 2.480, which rounds to just 2.48, 2 decimal places, and that's how many liters we have. Dimensional analysis just gives you the pathway to go from one unit to another. And we start with .26 or 3.2 liters. And we want milliliters. We're going to want what unit to cancel?
Liters.
Then cancel the liters, and that means got to divide by the liter down here. And we want the milliliters up there. So does 1,000 go in the numerator or the denominator?
Numerator.
Goes and sticks with the milliliter. So 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. The liters reduce. So this time you're multiplying 3.2 times 1,000. And when you multiply by power 10, you're just going to move the decimal. So you have 3.2, and you're going to move it 3 times to the right. It's going to get bigger. 3,200 milliliters. And when we come back for the 9:30, we're going to do the feet and miles. Now, listen carefully. There's only 2 questions on the quiz. Some of you are going to get grams and kilograms. Some of you are going to get liters and milliliters. But everybody's going to have to do feet and miles. Okay? All right, back at 9:30.
Yeah.